All right, everybody. This week we are looking at career exploration. So, kind of a guide to discovering, figuring out what are you going to do with your future. Sorry if I'm a bit raspy, not feeling the hottest, but it is what it is. So, an intro with the definition. What is career exploration? It's the process of learning about various career options, understanding what different jobs entail, and discovering what fields best match your interests, skills, and values. Basically, figuring out where would you be the happiest and what's it going to take to get there. First part, you got to look at your interests and your skills. There is a connection between personal interests, strengths, and then career options. Um, like taking somebody like me and just going, you know what, I think I want to do computer programming. Well, until you realize I have different reading issues and just reading code is a major challenge. And you're gonna look at it and go, no, maybe that's not the best option for me. So it's a matter of matching up what works best for you. Um, a big career tool, one I'm going to have you using at one point, is careeronestop.org. A lot of different self assessments on there, assessments to look at your interests, your abilities, things like that. An overview of just a lot of the different career fields that are out there. I just picked the ones that are most common around us. Got healthcare, tech and IT, education, general business, the skilled trades, and then public service. Um, Exploring different field options definitely broadens your point of view, broadens your horizons, because you might find there's things you just never heard of. And that's something that was definitely true for me. I grew up in one area, one everything, that's all I knew. And then throughout life, I discovered more and more and more that was out there for me. And, here I am, end up in teaching much later in life. Researching careers is important. You need to research, you need to look into what is out there. There's a lot of different methods to learning about different careers, interviews, online searches. Typically, we stick with the online searches, but I encourage you to get out there and actually meet people, talk to people. Face to face is always going to be the best option. Different career search websites that are out there. ONET, it's a big one. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. They are a government run organization. So they are going to show different careers, whether there is a foreseen increase in need for it or if that's a career field that's dying out. Some good information in there. Every different career is going to have different requirements as far as training, education. Um, Sometimes they're requirements, sometimes they're just, we wish everybody has this, and you're going to have to learn to find the difference. So you've got your vocational training, um, more of your hands-on type jobs. Things are more common to us in Brown City. You get your college training. Are you going to go off to college, or is it something like apprenticeships? Get into the electrician's field, electrical work, things like that on homes. You're going to end up doing apprenticeships. Same with butcher, um, different careers that I've dipped my toes into. Um, Different examples. We'll look at the vocational, getting at your HVAC. Um, yeah, HVAC's the biggest one I can think of. College stuff. That's most things these days. Teaching, even police work, things like that. Now you're going to end up needing college degrees. And apprenticeships, it's like your electricians, your wiremen up working on lines, butchers, things like that. Gain experience early. Start now. Get all the experience you can. It's going to help you later in life. Um, Internships, volunteering, part-time jobs, those ways to dip your toes into these different fields. Learn as much as you can, but you're also learning, is this for me? Um, my tips for it: network, talk to people. If you want to learn more about being an electrician, call an electrician and ask them, hey, can I sit down and ask you a bunch of questions? The ones that work best for me is I'll call somebody, contact them, and ask them, hey, can I take you to lunch? I'm interested in your field of work, and I just want to ask all the questions I can. Can I buy you some lunch? You can just go to McDonald's, something cheap, something whatever. But it could be enough that it gives you an understanding, and now you also have a contact in that field, somebody who has gotten to know you, met with you, went to lunch with you. So when the day comes that they're looking for an employee and you can apply, they remember your face, they remember your name. Developing your skills. You've got hard skills and soft skills. Soft skills are your personality attributes, your work ethic, your ability to work as a team, your leadership abilities. These are things that are hard to learn in a classroom. Your hard skills, those are teachable abilities or knowledge. Learning how to write certain tests, learning how to read certain data. Those are all hard skills. Tips for improving them for your hard skills: school. Go to school. Trainings. School doesn't have to mean college. School means some sort of training. Um, your soft skills, it's experience. If you want to become better at public speaking, yes, you can take classes that will help. But the key is you need to speak publicly. So get out there and get used to it. Force yourself. Career goals, short-term, long-term career goals. For some of us, especially coming out of high school, your career goal might be get a job so I have money, and that there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to look long-term also. Your get a job so you have money might be flipping burgers at McDonald's. There's no shame in that, nothing wrong with that. I worked at pizza places, cooking pizzas, like I did everything when I was younger. But do you want to be doing that long term? Do you want to be 45 years old and still flipping burgers? No, probably not. So you need to look at long term. Where do you want to fit? What are your genuine goals? A lot of people are going to say, I want to be rich. And that's great. But are you willing to put in how many years of education to even get the training to qualify you for half of the jobs that get you that kind of money? And is it worth it to you? Is it worth it to spend 10 years in school and then work 80 hours a week and not be home with family? Somebody like me, no. I want to make money. I want to do well. I want to have nice toys and fun things. But being home is a priority. We've talked many, many times about SMART goals. So we need to look at how do we create a smart career plan and have the ability to be flexible because things are going to change. And that's by looking short term. I would suggest a lot of you right now, as far as career plan, your goal should be to learn as much as you can. Between now and January, you're going to talk with 2 people in different career fields, and you are going to find out what education is needed, things like that. And then from there, build on it. Networking, building connections. Networking is the most important thing. Those connections are what are going to save you in the long run. A lot of times, jobs and things that come up, it's not necessarily because you saw an ad for it and applied for it. When I started working at Brown City, I had applied for a previous position that ended up being filled by a teacher with way more experience, everything than I had, understandable. But it was 6 months or so after that I'd still kept in touch with Mr. Hale, said hi, stopped by once in a while, the basics. 6 months or so later, I get a phone call from him that, hey, we've got this opening that is a much better fit for you, and we want you to come join us. So it wasn't that I applied for a job that day. It was something I had done 6 months prior, and then him and I kept in contact and ended up getting a job, a career that way. Adapting to change, technology, global trends on careers, it's changing every day. Initially teaching, even 20 years ago, teaching consisted of I have all the knowledge, I will give it to you the way that I feel is best, and that's typically lecture in a classroom, you sit down, shut up, and take notes. Even now, we've learned that that might not be the most effective. So now the role of a teacher, instead of just teaching material, we're almost like a facilitator. We're there to help you learn it on your own. It is more effective to learn things on your own. So why am I going to sit there and just spew out knowledge and information when it's not going to help you? If I can't adjust to that, then I don't have a job in teaching anymore. We look at the impact of AI, artificial intelligence, on stuff. It's having a big impact on the education field. Some people went to a training on the stuff a couple weeks ago. Some people are so like head in the sand. They want to pretend like it doesn't exist. They don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to talk about it. And realizing that, your kids know about it, it's going to be a factor. We need to learn to adapt and adjust where we are. So part of the necessity is to continuously learn and then upskilling, learning new skills. Who knows? Right now we're seeing an uptick in online education. If I don't teach myself how to teach online classes, and that's one of my goals of doing this class, what's going to happen if the day comes that online education is more popular and pays better? Am I going to continue to just do what I do and make less money and have less opportunities? Or do I want to put myself in a position where I can make the decisions that are best for me and my family? So, key takeaways. You're going to spend this week looking at careers. And you're going to do a few things that are going to help you start preparing for job searches. I want you to look at an action plan for personal career stuff. I know some of you in this class are looking at colleges, applying to colleges, and that is an excellent first step. But keep that going, continue that. Don't look at it as, okay, I'm getting into college, so now for the next 2 or 4 years, that's all I do. No, you need to do more. As far as closing motivational thoughts, you can end up wherever you want to end up. I've told you guys before, when I left high school, I had a 1.2 grade point average. I had no goals. I didn't know what I was doing with myself. Just because you're in one spot now doesn't mean that's where you're always going to be. I made some decisions to take those little steps forward, better my life as I went, and now I can honestly say life is a ton better, and it's still got more room to grow. It's still going to go. So don't get caught up with wherever you are. If you're somebody that genuinely does not know what you're going to do next, talk to your teachers, talk to your parents, talk to people. Sometimes others can look at you and say, you know what, I think you're going to be great at this thing one day. And it'll give you ideas. It'll get you motivated in the right direction. So continue the work for this week. The one assignment from last week, I extended the due date just because the video didn't match up with the questions. There is a video with questions this week. I watched the video. I made the questions this time. I didn't get them from anybody else. And I know that they match up. A couple of them are right word for word. A couple of them, you're going to have to do a little bit of looking. And I made sure that's the case. But the 4 questions, you can find them right on that link that I sent you. So if you have any questions, if you need anything, let me know.